What's up, guys? Today we are taking a look at this knife. This is the Hogue EX-01 4-inch model. They also come in a 3.5-inch as well. This is the 4-inch with a harpoon tanto blade, 154 cm steel, and bronze aluminum handles. This is not titanium, it's bronze aluminum. You can see there. It's a large knife. Full 4-inch blade, big boy. It's a button lock. It's a manual button lock, but it doesn't run on bearings. It runs on washers. So it's very smooth, but it's also very stiff. It's not super fall shut or anything. It's very a little bit more hydraulic than super, drop shut. This is Hogue knives, made in the USA, like all Hogue knives are. You see this nice tanto point. It's got the double tips, the harpoon here. It's got jimping on the top. It's got the thumb studs. This is the pivot, and then this is the button, and there's also a secondary lock that locks it when it's open. So it's completely solid. No movement at all. I mean, at all when it's locked out. And then this locks the button so the button can't press while it's open. The secondary lock doesn't work when it's closed though. This doesn't do anything when it's closed. It's only when it's open it locks the button out, so you can't push the button down when you're using it. So it's got jimping on the top here. You can see here it's got these little holes, these like vent holes. I guess that's for cleaning it out. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like tilted. They're like slanted at an angle, so they go in at an angle that way. It's push together construction, so there's no backspacer. It's kind of like they both curve to meet each other. You can see here. I'll close it. You can see there's a lanyard hole, and it's not perfectly centered, but it could use a little bit of adjustment. It's almost perfectly centered though, so that's not bad. It's a nice stonewash blade. You can see here, nice stonewash blade. Very reflective in the sunlight. The sun just decided to come through the window all of a sudden, which is interesting. Hogue. You can see here they chamfered this off so that when you put your fingers here, it feels really good. It's a good grip in your hand. You can definitely lock yourself in. You can even put your finger here and put your middle finger in the hole if you really want to get close to the blade. It's got a nice sharpening choil. It doesn't say the blade seal on the blade at all. It just says Leishowitz. It's a Leishowitz design. That's his symbol. And then this says Hogue, trademarked. And then this is their clip that they used on this one. It's very big and wide, swoopy. There you go, Hogue knives. T8 pivot. Actually, it's not T8 pivot. It's actually a hex bit, which is different. You usually don't see that on a lot of knives, but they decided to use a hex bit for this pivot, which is interesting. Let's do some size comparisons with this knife. Let's compare it to the Benchmade Bug Out and the QSP Penguin. See there, it's a very large knife. And let's also compare it to the Spyderco PM2 and the Zero Tolerance 0308. You can see there, it's just about as long as the 0308. And a little bit bigger than the PM2. And then we'll also compare it to another USA made button lock I have, which is the Protec Mordex. As you can see there, it's bigger than the Mordex as well. This is definitely a larger knife. It's big. And it's chunky too. It has a good edge. Slices alright. It's a little bit thick, but it's not bad. It cuts just fine. Button lock operates alright. You can flick it back in. It's a little bit difficult because it's a little bit tighter. If you get a little bit of wrist, it'll flick all the way back in when you press the button. But more, it's just supposed to be so you can flick it out and then manually close it. Like that, probably. And then you can also reverse flick it if you give it enough oomph. There you go. So you can do that as well. But yep, this is Pretty big Hogue knife. I will say, I'm not a super huge fan of this Tanto shape. I don't know why, I prefer other Tantos over this shape. Kind of like comes down. I like Tantos that kind of just come straight out, I guess. So not a huge fan of the Tanto shape, and the overall how it gets like really wide here in the middle and then a little bit skinnier towards both ends. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. I also wish that it was a little bit smoother. It's a little bit tight, like maybe not smoother, but looser. So it's super tight right now, and it makes for really good solid lockup, but it makes it so when you push the button, it doesn't just drop down, which I kind of wish it did. I'm too used to the action on a ProTech Mordax, where it just shuts. And they both have solid action, or solid lockup, but this one just has loose fall shut action, and this one doesn't. So I'm more used to a ProTech Mordax, where this one's a little bit tighter, more deliberate. You have to make sure it comes open, and then you have to bring it all the way close, because it doesn't just shut on its own. Of course, it's on washers, so that'll probably be why. Pocket clip works well, in and out of the pocket just fine. Yeah, it's got a lanyard hole. That's really about it. So that is the Hogue Knives EX-01 4-inch. Let's get some weight on this. There we go. Turn this thing on. So it's 5.7 ounces. That's for 4-inch blade, that's not bad. Definitely getting a full knife, huge size. And if you're already carrying something this big, you probably don't worry about weight as much anyway. But yeah, it's a good knife. Not my kind of knife, but if you're into Hogue knives, you'll probably really like this. If you're into button locks, you might like this, especially if you're into USA button locks. This is more like that. That's pretty much about it. So thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell me what your favorite Hogue knife is. I'd like to try the Deca. I've always thought of trying the Hogue Deca would be really cool, because I'm a big fan of the bug out. But yep, that's just about it. Thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.